We are back.
Just wait a second. Let me give you a thumbs up.
We're waiting for a thumbs up, but we are back. We're into the semifinals. We have Shekinah versus Sloppy Seconds. Two very good teams. They've made it this far in the tournament, and we are out at Huntington Beach having a wonderful time.
Shekinah is not like a. Shekinah looks like Julia Roberts. It's not like that. It's like it's like where they went to high school.
It is.
It's their team. It's an actual thing.
It is a location, and it looks like
Sloppy Seconds.
They've got the go ahead, and we're gonna start here. PJ to serve. So those of you that saw the last stream, Tyler was a national champion. You're looking at his partner, PJ Showalter in black, that just served. He is also one of the national champions, and it's always fun to watch them play. So we have PJ in the black, and his partner in the purple, and then we have Chris and Ian going to serve.
Gets blasted through. Not high. Ace serve right at him.
Yeah, a little backstory actually with so Chris actually plays on a team called Origin Impact with a partner is Patrick Drucker, not usually Ian, but Drucker couldn't make it out, and a last minute teammate was Ian, and they're actually making a pretty deep run for having never played together before. Yeah,
this is the first time deal. That's I think where they got their team name from. They just kind of ended up with each other because their teammates aren't playing.
Wasn't their first choice, but they might still have some fun.
You know what was a first choice somehow is Ian's tank top with a giant hole in the back. He could have chosen anything.
He woke up today and he said that's the one.
But I don't know, pocket-ish.
I think they're gonna call that one a little high.
Chris hits the ball so hard. He doesn't do anything fancy on the serves. He just overpowers you, and then he'll throw in the drop shot.
He is known for his power. Second serve, Chris going, and he goes a little high again. He's gonna need to rein that in by the end of this series.
High school volleyball player, I believe Chris was, and I know there's a video floating around of him just hitting some guy right in the face, totally out of Meet the Parents, right in the face. If you're already on Facebook, go find it. Great power from Ian. I know a lot of you think he's a washed-up spikeballer. He's gonna prove everyone wrong.
He's
today.
He's been to his fair share of tournaments. He's know what he's doing out here. He may not be playing as hardcore anymore, but he can hang with the best of them. PJ gets a high up and puts a nice easy backhand away. I would say that's textbook PJ right there. He's got those long arms. He can just wrap around the ball, and wherever the defense isn't, that's where the ball's going.
He's up there with most versatile attacker. He can hit the ball with any part of his body and at any angle. I think we saw him do a push backhand a second ago. That was awesome.
5-3, Chris to serve.
It's up. Oh. Wind is going to start playing a factor as well, but that serve was fire, but right at him. Puts it back up. Can't get it back on the net. Came back flying in a little bit too hot.
Yeah, it was kind of a miracle touch that this serve even got put up, but they couldn't finish it out. 6-3, second serve, and Chris finds rim.
Chris breaks rim. He hits the ball so hard. Shekinah gets one back, chasing 2 points.
Shekinah, or they actually did?
Shekinah did it. And then
PJ to serve.
So much range on that hit. Great return by Chris, but he can't get that one back on.
Yeah, and you know Chris has played PJ before because he's leaving early. As soon as he sees PJ take that step on the serve, Chris is already jumping to his right, because if you don't respect that flango or that step out, he'll beat you along. Kind of like that.
Just right on cue. Well done.
Right on cue, like we planned it. But even then, if Ian went early there, I don't know if he would have had that one.
No, well, and here's the biggest problem, is that PJ's going to recognize that people are taking off early, and then he's going to go ahead and drop you or flango you, come back and flango. So that's perfect.
Yeah, and that was similar to what we saw last game, where Tyler and Jordy kept going the wrong way, and they were getting beat. It's usually a miscommunication on the defense where you're not cutting off one of their lanes, and they just have a whole 180 degrees to work with.
And they're trying to go early. Oh my gosh, the luckiest touch of all, and it pays off and hits the rim. Unbelievable.
I thought that point was over a lot earlier. like they're talking about whether it was a hinder or not.
It's a crucial point. Taking full advantage of the rules.
Yep, 6-7.
That might be off. I don't know if score got updated after. We'll get a scoreboard check here. 8-7, sloppy seconds. Shekinah hanging in.
That will never get old.
No,
It's a good team.
No, it's fantastic. Warchuk steps out. Doesn't do a whole lot, but a great serve. Tweener. Tweener lefty drop.
Barely gets it on.
He's the only person who can make that look easy. The hammer.
It was a great touch from PJ. A little softer, and he might have given his teammate a chance.
I'm still in awe over that. That'll make a top play list for sure.
I'm guessing a lot of the plays out here are going to be heading over to YouTube for a little top 10 love. And that was a high, so you're going to play it up. Second serve. It looks like he went right back to it, and that will be an easy point for Shekinah, and it's 9-9.
Ball on.
Zach gets a good serve on, but Sloppy Seconds able to wrangle that in and put it away with quite some ease.
Offense is the easy part.
It is, but it's you don't want to forget about it.
Oh, no.
You got to master that before you go anywhere else.
Not going to win a whole lot of games if you can't put the ball away.
Chris digging his feet into the ground, getting a little stable. Good serve, but PJ's there and goes short.
Great job by PJ. So much finesse on the soft hands. Like it was coming in hot, and he just kind of caught it, gave it a little give.
Tender.
And
you'll see that almost like a balk, where he pump fakes one way and comes the other, trying to get Chris to get out of position. But Chris does a good job and doesn't get beat.
Keeping his eye on the ball, doing a good job keeping his eye on the ball. Ian serving. Locked at 10 right now. Good set by PJ. Hard to mess that one up, and it goes long. 11-10, their first lead.
Yeah, we'll see coming into the final stretch here if they can hold on to it. It's been pretty back and forth. If you had to say one team's been it's actually 11-11 now. Which team's impressing you more?
You know, I'm impressed with PJ's ability to. He's not playing with his normal partner, and I'm impressed with. I still can't get past the tweener. Is really all that's in my head. So yeah, I'm always impressed by PJ. You know, when he was up and coming, I was able to beat him at nationals 2 years ago, which I didn't even think was going to happen because he was like the up and coming stud, and he has only gotten exponentially better since then. He's probably the most well-rounded athlete on tour right now.
Yeah, arguably he's up there.
As far as this game goes, playing with a new partner, hanging in there, staying in at 11-11. It's just a really interesting matchup that we have right here. Two kind of coagulated teams.
Yep. Yeah, it's impressive they made it this far, and that long debate that happened for the last minute or so. I think they're trying to figure out whether the serve was high or not. Sloppy Seconds saying they did not think so, but it looks like they played it up anyways at 11-11.
What a hammer by Ian.
And Ian puts that away, putting all of his body into it.
I think collaboratively, Chris and Ian hit harder than any other team in the competition today.
Well, I think we can give them that, if nothing else.
If nothing else. They took the lead back, looking to extend this to 2. Moving in towards the end of the game. A big lefty by PJ, kind of uncharacteristic, and Chris can't get out of his own teammate's way.
Yeah, it was a great rundown by him, but his path backwards kind of got in the way of Ian, and Ian had no chance to hit it up.
Big flango He has so much range on that, but finds the rim on this one. Not going to steal any points on an ace with that one, but definitely one to look out for, and it sucks to go up against. It is so hard to defend.
That's a good serve. Chris is fired up. Fearing a little energy from these teams.
Getting a lot of energy. Some energy spilling over from court 2 over there onto the featured court. Teams want to match up against each other.
Yeah, and for
friendly rivalry.
Those of you that don't know, subpar team, which we just saw, is playing Wabi Sabi over off camera to the right. They're the other semifinals, and the winner of that will be playing the winner of this semifinals, and we'll be streaming that right after this.
Chris back to serve. The straight up hammer. Doesn't know if they're going to call it high or not.
I think if they're calling that, they have to call that high just based on how they called the last few. And it looks like they are, which is good.
There's the hammer. Real low, great first pass this time around. Ian trying to chase it down.
He did a good job of tracking it, but that was just one ounce too far.
One of those things you could maybe lay out for. You start feeling the crowd.
Yeah, you don't want to be diving into anyone on the side. Save your energy, maybe. They're up 5-4, 15-4 that is, and hopefully they can close out game 1.
PJ faking the fling up. Now he's committed. Hits it to the rim.
Sometimes
once you've planted, you can't lift that foot again. That is it. It's very similar to your last step in basketball. You're stuck there, but once that pivot foot goes and you're planted, you're locked in. There's that backhand push we were talking about.
Yeah, and it looks so simple, but that is a hard move to master because he's reading Ian and where he's going to be and sees him going a little over commitment for that hit, so he puts it right behind him.
Putting a lot into his serve. Hits the rim. Coming to the tail end of this thing.
Chris back at 17-15.
Stabs at it, hits it with the heel of the hand.
Yeah,
taking a 3-point lead, which is huge going into this.
Yeah, Chris likes to get a little animated anytime he gets an ace, and rightfully so. Those are big points.
And you start playing the mental game. It's demoralizing. And
so,
that one went rim.
Was that a rim?
And Ian tried to play the up-close defense, and PJ hit rim with it first.
Maybe got in his head a little bit on that. Well done.
Idea.
Yes,
shot.
Smart play from Zach. Just dinks it right there. Don't need to do anything else. And we're at 16-19. We'll see if PJ's got anything up his sleeve.
That isn't high from my angle.
It didn't seem high, but it was crazy left. So maybe they're calling a pocket on it.
The crazier thing is that he'll hit him that far and that will be good sometimes.
Yep.
So
that is not unheard of.
Ian lets one rip, but PJ, easy 1, 2, 3. Perfect set.
17-20. Game 1. Zach back to serve, see if they can get a defensive stand here. Oh, where's that been?
That's one way to do it.
All I gotta say, win or lose, they need to see some more of that in game 2.
Fitting, absolutely fitting that it was against Hornacek, the guy that we were saying hits the ball like a rocket. That was 2 good serves in a row, but being able to get one back. They get the scoop. Great set on the dive, but that pockets up. Ian chases it down. Hornacek with the backhand to put it away and take game number 1.
Game over.
What a great first game from Shekinah and Sloppy Seconds. 21-18. Well done, Sloppy Seconds.
I would end on that game. That was 21-18 finish, but both teams battling. I do think that Sloppy Seconds were the better team there, and they deserve that win.
Absolutely. They played just more consistently. Like you said, PJ and Zach, they started to figure it out a little bit towards the end, but if we can see some more of that serve, that was 2 serves. Even the one they lost on, they almost had a defensive play because the first serve was so hard to return. We see some more of that fire coming out of Zach's right hand. We could be looking at at least a closer match, which could mean extras, and anything can happen at that point.
Yeah, and PJ being known for his serves as well, I think if he can turn on this game, it'll really be the edge they need. Because I would say Sloppy Seconds was the better serving team in game 1. And that's all. That's all the difference, especially when it comes down to 3 points.
And more consistent, and they got him on the net and give themselves opportunities to play defense or for the other team to mess up. We saw a couple of rim shots by PJ. We saw some miscues, bad drops.
Yep.
Got to give yourself the opportunity.
Absolutely, and we did just hear it sounded like Wabi Sabi took game 1 against Subpar, so they are a favorite to move on to the finals at this point. But anything can happen over there, as we saw. Subpar lost game 1 in the round of 8, and they were able to take it back and come back for a game 3 win.
I know that Jarrett and Preston of Wabi Sabi were, I don't want to say taking it easy, but trying to conserve some energy. Jarrett playing with torn something in his shoulder.
Yeah, he's got some messed up shoulders.
I had the privilege of golfing with him last week, and he's got a funky swing right now, and he's still being as athletic as possible, but he was taking some serves lefty to try to conserve his shoulder for some of these later matches. So anxious to see if they make it over to the final, take on the winner of Sloppy Seconds and Shekinah.
Yeah, I think Jarrett, when he injured himself right before Nationals last year, and it's when he debuted his sort of left-hand serve because it's all he had at the time. But he was hitting some crazy aces with his left hand. I was amazed. And so you can't count him out of this one as far as a serving threat, even though he's only got his left hand and he's a right-handed player. And it looks like they're working in some observers on this next game. So what an observer is essentially a referee of Spikeball, but there's only a few active calls they'll make, and we'll walk you through it when it happens. And they're here to, if there's any dispute between the two teams, they will be the final voice, the final word, and make a call. Just so we don't have to rely on one team feeling one way and another team feeling different.
Yeah, hitting a stalemate where no one's happy.
Yeah.
Observers are now the people that you can get mad at when you don't like that call.
Someone to point the finger at, and so they're wearing the black and gray out here with a little yellow on it. You'll see them probably off to the side.
USA Spikeball Observer.
Gonna need to update those jerseys, but we're back in the action. And Sloppy Seconds not taking any speed off the throttle.
Good first pass by PJ. Good touch by Ian as well. Gets the left on it, but a little too quick at Chris, and he can't react. And even at once.
PJ to serve. We'll see if he can get a little hot this game. Unfortunately, no good for PJ. Caught a pocket there, and he gets to go second serve.
There's that flango, but pockets up very high.
A little hooting and hollering from our game off to the side.
Good first serve and touch, and they both go to play off close defense.
Yeah,
the split kick isn't going to do it.
Yeah, one of them almost needs to fill that gap, and the other guy has to step long or something because they just didn't give any wall of protection there.
That's a good touch. If anyone's going to do it, it's PJ.
You know, most players I would strongly advise against that type of play, but I've seen him do that one too many times, especially against me. So
in his head, he's thinking like, I can hit this onto the net.
That's a high percentage shot.
I'm not going to get the point that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me go ahead and try to jump and hit this between my legs onto a net that I can't see that's 10 feet behind me. That's very PJ of him. Oh, it was a little scoops, one motion. I'm not going to talk about it.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
Lift on the set. He's asking for it.
Yeah, Chris is asking for the lift. He's going to the observers. I don't know if the observers saw it. They could come to us. You know, we got an opinion.
We do. Is there a rule in that? They start just asking everyone that's been watching.
So
we'll
actually,
take a vote of the crowd.
One of the observers is actually Jack Scotty, who's the director of the Spikeball and Roundnet Association. So if anyone's going to know the rule, it would be him. And they're calling no lift. So we're 3-3, PJ to serve. Ball in the court, we'll get that off real quick.
It's close. Yeah, other people might have a different opinion, but it doesn't matter. Observers have made their call. PJ steps into the flango, and leaves are present under the net, and 4-3. Corner check to serve.
I mean, we see it all the time in other sports with whether a referee makes a call one way or the other.
That one goes high.
Even like it did with the Eagles. Was that a catch? You know? Some would say it's not.
Don't get me started. Absolutely. Oof.
Barely slides it through.
Holes in the defense about as much as there are holes in Ian's tank top.
Zach to serve. Catches rim. Not as good as he would have hoped. 5-4, Ian serving. Gets a pocket. Gonna go second serve.
I think his serves, Zach's serves were better when he was just stepping into it. He tried to open up. Ooh, that one's rim. PJ.
Uncharacteristic.
Very uncharacteristic. Not a typical PJ move.
He might be a little off his normal game. Just he's used to those sets from Tyler, who's a very good setter, putting it nice and juicy over the rim for him.
Yeah, you're not going to see that a lot out of him, no matter who his teammate is. But he's going to need to limit those mistakes if they want to move on to the finals. That's a rim.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of mental errors on serves here.
And he gets out there so wide. He's so long legs, long arms. And he's practiced that serve so much that he gets crazy angles on those.
Possibly one of the longest wingspans in the game right now.
Probably, other than Drucker. Patrick Drucker's 6'8".
He's a big man.
And maybe the only other person who can reach that, match that wingspan that PJ is bringing.
And he doesn't even find the net there. It almost seems like this series has slowed down a little bit from both teams. They've lost their groove. No team's really dominating. They're just kind of play by play.
Oh, good defense by Ian. Miscommunication. I think Ian thought that Chris was going down to the net or something. He came in way too hot for him to do anything about it. And that's another one that you make the defensive stand and you need to put it away, and it just didn't happen.
7-8. PJ's going to want to turn it on here.
Wingo serve. Chris dives over the net, can't do anything with it, and that's a big 2 points in a row.
Yeah, that was not a great set for me, and he put Chris just a little too long, wasn't able to work with it. Gets a good up here on the serve from PJ, and a nice finish. He owed him one, and he paid him back.
He did. I was just gonna say that he reached in deep for that one. He knew that his team would be a little upset if he kept not getting those pretty high percentage for these players. Plays not quite back to the net. Great set from facing the other way, 10 feet off. This another good couple of sets, and Ian in the right spot, just didn't commit to playing that low shot. And we're tied at Niners.
Zach again can't find the net.
I think that's 2 Zach serves in a row that didn't touch the net, and he just needs to relax and focus on getting the ball there.
Yeah, whenever I get to that point where I've missed a couple.
Ooh, great tweener from Ian.
That is a classy move from Ian there.
He still got it.
A great hit from him. That's a huge break for them. They're at 11-9 now. What I was going to say, though, is at this point, when you've missed a couple serves in a row, it's almost, you just take a lot of speed off, just get it on, find your groove back, because continuing to miss is not going to help you in any way.
No, I mean, if you're not acing people, then you're not getting the point anyways.
Yeah.
So you might as well give the other team the easy opportunity and at least add in the factor of they might mess up.
Exactly. I think Ian's really feeling himself right now.
little confusion. A lot of body is on the net right there, playing that up close defense.
What I will say is, Ian is going to have a wicked tan line from that hole in his shirt. It's just going to be a blotch.
It is the question mark wardrobe choice of the day. Wingo. They're going to play that up,
Playing that up
high on the pocket, popped up a little bit, changes up the serve technique, and that is a good serve, like sideways.
Yeah, hands down, best serve I think we've seen from PJ today.
Ian shouting out to the crew. That is ridiculous. He's not even mad.
The fact he got a hand on it, though.
It was. I just would have turned around.
Well done. It would have been
Mixes
even better.
it up with the drop shot. That's what we were talking about. He noticed that Chris started to move early on the step.
Yeah, so that little smallest head fake will make the defense move, and then he hits him short, and when it's done right, you got him beat all day.
And he does not miss serves like that. His touch on drop shots, I have noticed, is incredible. But I think we're getting a technical timeout here.
Is it technical? I thought sloppy seconds just called it to, slow the momentum. They gave up 2 points. They don't want it to turn anything more than that. It's 12-12. Find the groove. They got game 1. You never want to go game 3 if you don't. Excuse me, if you don't have to.
No, not at all. They'd love to get this over with. It's already been a long day, and going into the finals, you don't want to tack on another 38,
yeah,
40 points.
They add up.
It definitely adds up. That's 40 times that you're pivoting in this thick sand and trying to move your muscles all quick, and everyone's gonna start running on fumes here as the sun crawls its way down.
A race with the sun. The lower that gets, the harder it is to return these serves on the far side. PJ's back to serve, 12-12. They've made a good run. Ian does a good job of getting it up and putting it away. They make that look easy.
PJ,
that is not easy.
You see this range, how far he went on that serve with the open hand and how far he goes with the flango. The amount of degree angle that he can cover with the serve it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, and you can see it in his eyes. He almost looks a little disappointed that didn't beat Ian because he's used to those going.
Good job by Zach to get that back on the net, but Ian, good job realizing he's still down, plays it short.
Yeah, he read that D. He's playing it really well. He's reading their book. And they're actually pausing, watching the game aside to us. There's a pretty big rally going on.
Some excitement on court, too.
You might have been able to hear that at home. That was a pretty loud rim. Zach to serve.
Big steps. So there he goes. Oh, short. But there he goes. He hit a fire serve, and he just stepped right at this set. I think he just needs a couple more of those, and one of those will squeak through.
Ball is high. It actually just struck me. Is Ian a lefty?
I don't think so.
Is he not? Because he's hitting like he's a lefty. He's looking real good. 14-15. PJ to serve. See if you can make this work. That
was almost the most unbelievable thing I've seen today.
Some of the faces around the crowd are making me laugh. That was if that had been good, I think we would have lost our minds here. It barely clipped rim, but the fact that it was close is, he's been practicing that late at night.
Even from up here in the skybox, that looked really close.
Yes. 16-14. And you got to respect, and it's such a tight game right now, he's pulling that out. Whether it's stupid or...
He plays with so much confidence that it doesn't faze him. It's just another, it's the same as the switching between flango or not. It's just another thing he does.
It's another thing in his repertoire that he can whip out and impress the masses with.
Shekinah running out of time.
Shekinah
running out of time.
Shekinah running out of time. 16-17. PJ opts for the flango. Chris gets the left.
Great pass by Chris from his left hand off on the run on the serve. With how far out it was.
And smartly hit on 2 by Ian because I think Chris was a little out of the play. He gave it all he could to get it back towards him, and Ian opted to just hit it instead of put it up, and they won the point because of it.
Chris back to serve, gonna bring the hammer. Absolutely. Woo. Easy touch for PJ, not even worried. Reads the drop shot and puts that away back towards where they came from.
Now, if I was PJ's coach, I would be pulling him aside and I would say, hit that hard. Because he went soft there. Chris and Ian were both way too close. He just gave it to him on a silver platter, and I think he could have done a lot more with that.
He's been beating him on the angled shots too, so to make maybe he thought he was mixing it up and gonna throw him off, but not fooled. Sloppy seconds was not fooled in that.
I think they're gonna call pocket there. So he'll go back for his second serve. And it goes high, so they're handing them a point. It's okay though, they're still relatively comfortable, up 19-17.
to serve. Needs to get this on the net. Didn't step at the...
Swings for the fences.
Every time
2017.
Stepped across his body like that, it's been a little bit short.
Potentially game point if Sloppy Seconds can get a stand, but PJ, I think he had a talk with his coach, and he listened.
Yeah.
Because he hit that one hard.
Really hard. And here's where PJ can shine.
Jack.
Hits the rim. That will be it. 21 to 18. Scoreboard jumped and threw me off. 21 to 18. Sloppy Seconds.
Moving on to the finals.
Moving to the finals.
The team that was...
Who would have thought Ian Golembeski, Chris Hornacek, we understand, but Ian Golembeski wowing the crowd.
They formed up today. They had no intention of playing together, and they find themselves in a final. We'll see if they can put it all together.
Great couple of serving errors leads to a Sloppy Seconds win, and we'll see if
Are we going game 3 on the other semis?
I didn't see what happened on the other semifinal. We'll get them over to the featured court if so, I believe. But they're taking a little break, stretching it out, maybe waiting to get back going. But I don't think PJ and Zach have anything to be too upset about making a run to the Final Four.
No, absolutely not. I was just thinking, how bummed do you think Drucker would be if Chris comes home with a pitcher and Drucker didn't make it out here with him?
You're sad if you're Drucker.
Yeah, Chris would be stoked.
Because if he can do it with Ian, he could easily have done it with Drucker.
You would think. Right? You would think.
Ian's gonna hate me. But
yeah, they're looking impressive right now. They're pretty flawless game out there from start to finish.
They kept playing their game. They hit the ball hard. They didn't stop. They were playing pretty smart. They communicated on defense. It was everything you want to see. They're executing well.
Yep, and we just heard we're going to close out this broadcast. We'll be back in 5 to 10 for the finals. So report back, and we'll be here. Should be good. Was it Wabi Sabi who made it?
Wabi Sabi is in game 2.
Okay. So it's looking like Wabi Sabi will probably be the finalist. That isn't concluded yet, but yeah, check back. We'll be here for the finals.
See you here.